Thank you for joining us wherever you are. This podcast episode is brought to you by the Old Ways Actual Play team. This actual play is performed by adults and in an adult setting. While we try hard to stick to language for all ages, listeners should know that this podcast will include mature themes and scenes. This actual play uses the Delta Green role-playing game rules by Arc Dream Publishing. All content, including names, places, events, companies, and etc., which may bear resemblance to entities living or dead, is strictly coincidental. My name is Michael Diamond, and for tonight's game, I will be your handler. You're all cordially invited to a night at the opera. Thank you for joining us again on another episode of the Old Ways podcast. I am your handler Michael Diamond, and we have returned yet again to Delta Green's Impossible Landscapes, as played by cast members of the Old Ways podcast. I'd like to welcome you in this evening. I hope that you're comfortable wherever you are, and I look forward to our cast delivering yet another stunning performance as they, hopefully, can find their way out of the MacAllistar building. They're just right there at the front door. It's just right there. Everything will be fine. Before we get started, I'd like to remind you that we offer many things via our Patreon, which you can check out at patreon.com/theoldwayspodcast. Also, we're on YouTube. We'd appreciate it if you'd subscribe over there and check out some of the other wonderful video content we have, like our live shows, and then some of the seminars that we're putting on for you, and perhaps other and more interesting videos to come. And so now I'll introduce the cast, starting at my right.
Hi, this is Miranda, and I play Agent Olivia Dartford, but in my normal life, Dr. Aaron Weber. And what day is it again?
That's a wonderful question. Maybe a shotgun to the head would jog your memory, Doctor. And to Dr. Weber's right.
Hello, my friends. I am your friend, Nate. I play Elliot Winters, Special Agent, also known as Special Agent Oscar Bennett. And we just went to a nightmarish other world. I feel like I was the only monster we really faced.
It's certainly possible. Most of the monsters we encounter in life are the people we call friends. At the end of the table.
Hi, this is Allie, and I play Joanne Hart, or as I'm known to this group, FBI agent Ophelia Ward. And there was a bunch of stuff that happened, and I don't know why Bennett is racking people on the head, but now he's the one who's knocked out.
It's been quite a night so far. Quite a night. And last but certainly not least.
Hi, my name is Tegan, and I'm also known as Brett Hawking, NCIS agent. And I'm here to take butt and kick names.
Very well. I look forward to that. So we'll raise the veritable curtain tonight on the MacAllistar building, just inside the vestibule, with a collapsed Agent Bennett leaned up against the side of this sort of lath and plaster walls. He's still a little out of it, it looks like. Ward, you and Dartford and O'Neill have secured him for the moment, and now you got to figure out the multi-million-dollar question, which is, what next?
I think we need to get Bennett and ourselves out of this building.
Agreed.
Okay.
Can we drag it? Can we slap him up so he can stand? But we gotta get him out, and maybe we go back to the room we rented and call Marcus and get some stuff figured out. But we gotta get out of here.
Yeah, we need to engage the child safety locks on those back doors, and we need to get Bennett in the back seat. Someone needs to call. I'll drive.
I'll sit in the back with Bennett.
Okay. Get Agent Bennett up on his feet. It's a little bit of a task. He's woozy. You have to physically help him out of the building. You push open the MacAllistar door, and the New York City night and all of its sounds and scents comes wafting through the door. It's really these scents, the lingering smell of trash, the food stand not too far down the way, and is that sewer? There's something special about New York for certain. And it's that extra special flavor on top, Agent Bennett, that wakes you from your stunned state as you're being helped. Oh, wow, you're being pushed forward, and now, you've been put into the back of a car, been handcuffed. You don't even remember why.
I think I'll play dead for a second. Try and make sure that... Am I with the folks that I was with before, or get my bearings?
Yeah, that's... You look over a little bit and you see Dartford. Dartford, you see Bennett give you this sort of strange, wobbly glance.
Oh, Bennett, it's gonna be okay. We're out of the hotel. We're out of the MacAllistar. We're gonna go back to the motel. It's gonna be okay. I'll kind of put my hand on Bennett's shoulder to comfort him.
What happened to me? What? Did I fall? Why am I in handcuffs? What happened to me?
Because you went ape shit.
What do you mean? What do you mean? I went ape shit.
Bennett, you lost it. You pistol whipped David. You were, I don't know, I think at one point you were going to shoot one of us. But it's okay. It's okay, Ben. We're out now. It's okay.
I just, played chiropractor with you.
Who's David? David who? When did this happen? This all just happened?
Yeah, like 5 minutes ago.
So I dreamed it all. Oh, it makes sense. What? Oh, I need to talk to a doctor or something.
Who's driving?
O'Neill's driving.
Okay. O'Neill, you pull out into traffic and get into the lanes there and begin moving through the clogged New York City streets. And you can hear Dartford and you can hear Ward going back and forth with Bennett. And things get a little muted behind you. You can feel the adrenaline spike after having been in a physical confrontation with somebody else, a somewhat prolonged physical confrontation going. Your adrenaline is dropping, and you are physically crashing and feeling exhausted. And things swim a little bit, and you have to grab onto the wheel of the car a couple of times. You sort of force yourself to stay up, to stay awake. You don't remember the last time you slept. You're really exhausted. And as you're taking a left to get into the next series of lanes, just on the left-hand side of the sidewalk there, you catch the passing glance. An image, a shape comes at you. You see a clown holding a long kite string and this beautiful trailing dragon, and that clown looks in the window as you make that left turn. And I'm going to have you make a drive roll.
A drive roll?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, because the weight of the sanity loss you take in the MacAllistar is going to stop and make a little appearance here.
Oh, sweet. I have 50 in drive. Is that enough? Just having a 50?
I think given the circumstances that I'm handing you, I'm going to say no. Normally it would be. Normally there would be no drive test here.
Yeah, we about to pop a curb.
You don't, in fact, pop a curb on your 92 failure on drive roll. What you do is you rear end a Geo Metro because your head is turned to stare out the driver's window at whatever that thing is.
Shit!
Do you want me to take over, O'Neill?
Like, how bad did we just rear end this dude? Did we, fender bender?
It's reasonably bad enough. The fender bender is one thing, but I'm going to saddle you with a 4-point sand loss from your time in the MacAllistar. How would you care to deal with that?
You mean, do I want to lose 4 points of sanity? Or do I want to, think about something I care about and, burn that neuron out?
Yeah, I think you have a fair amount of people to select from, things that you care about. And I guess what I'm really asking is, what in this moment do you care about just a little less than you used to?
Figuring out what people want to hear. My relationships motivation. I don't give a shit about that anymore.
Good. Okay, so You spend willpower to reduce the loss. How much willpower are you spending?
Do I have to roll or?
It says the amount is always 1d4. So please roll 1d4.
All right, I'm going to mitigate 3 of that.
Okay.
So do I lose relationships figuring out what people want to hear?
Yeah. We'll rip it right off you.
Ow. I don't give a fuck. So I still lose 1, so I'm at 74 sand.
For now.
My willpower goes down by 3 temporarily.
Yep.
All right, so that puts me at 12 out of 15 willpower points. All right, I think it's worth it, honestly. I think I'm a better person.
You rear end this Geo Metro. Everybody inside the car is shook up a little bit. What do? The driver of the Metro gets out and walks to the back of his car.
Yeah, no, I'm going to go ahead and get out and show my badge to the person I rear-ended.
What the fuck, asshole? Not watching you going?
Hey, I got somebody in the back seat that's bleeding right now. All right, I appreciate you and everything. And I'm going to do I have I don't have a card or anything on me to represent who I am.
Nope.
Here you go. Hold on. Hey, I'm going to pull a scrap of paper out and I'm going to write a fake badge number on it and a name and be here you go. You let New York PD know, tomorrow you give them a call, give municipal a call. Here's my badge number. We got this. We'll take care of it. I got to get this guy to a hospital right now. This is official business.
That is a 100%. Your persuade's pretty good, right?
Yes, I'm a bullshitter. My base persuade is 50.
Yeah, you're good. He looks a little dumbfounded and takes a look at the card and then sort of you hear him turn and go, this is unfucking believable.
Yeah. Here, I'm going to reach into my wallet. Do I got at least a 20 or something in there I can just give to the dude?
You are absolutely not, because you know what? You don't care.
You're right. I don't care what other people think anymore. Fuck them. All right, I'm getting in my car and I'm driving off. You can write my plate down. I don't give a shit. Let's go.
Okay, you drive off.
Bent the radiator. Fuck.
This was a rental, probably. So in the back seat, Dartford and Bennett are doing their best to sort out whatever the fuck just happened at the MacAllistar. Ward, that means you're riding shotgun. All right, so you're all driving. Take it away.
We need guidance. All right, every single one of us, you got to admit, we're over our head. Dartford is definitely in over their head. We need to regroup and figure out how we're going to handle this situation.
That was literally my plan. That we need to regroup. I just said we need to go to the motel.
Yeah, that's where I'm going. I'm driving there. Somebody freaking Ward, call Marcus.
Yeah, and I would if I had the phone number with me, which I don't. I'm pretty sure I've told you 2 or 3 times at this point that the phone number is in my briefcase, which is back at the hotel. So get us there and I'll make a fucking phone call.
I have nothing left to say to these people.
Can y'all keep it down? I got a splitter up here.
Bennett, I wish I could say I care.
Yeah, that's fair. Dartford, do you know where my service weapon might be?
No.
Yeah, I have that too.
Oh, you got that, Ward? You must have been really helpful back when I was having my fit. Thanks, Ward.
No problem, Bennett. We'll get you patched right up.
Are you going to be cool if I unhandcuff you, Bennett?
I'm pretty sure I would be more comfortable if he stayed handcuffed until we made it back to the hotel.
Well, he seems fine now.
Yeah, and we thought David seemed fine, so...
Yeah. I think the driver gets to pick what's on the radio and who does and does not get handcuffed.
Bennett, where's David?
What happened to that David? Man, that driver is really loud. So he actually did exist. Where is he?
You hurt him real bad, Bennett. I think you maybe fractured his skull with your gun.
Well, but he ran off, so it couldn't have been hurt that bad, right? He's probably fine then, if he ran off.
That's what people tell themselves when they hit a small animal, too.
I really feel like I must have seen something. You didn't see anything with this guy? I just don't understand.
Not anything weirder than what you saw, though we don't know what you saw, so...
Yeah, but I tried to kill him.
Yeah, and now he's loose in town. And it's only a matter of time before he goes and sees services. All right? So we're going to have to figure something out. I think we've probably lost him. I don't know where the hell he went. But we're going to need to come up with a story. Maybe we can tie it all together. Abigail and David,
What got lost upstairs in a building that doesn't exist? Yeah, that's going to be real believable.
No, something simple, like one of those crazy fucks in the building is behind it all, and he, kidnapped and, ate Abigail or some shit, and he kidnapped David, and David escaped, and we saved him, and then, the building is, of course, also just happens to be, I don't know, guys. I don't fucking know.
Carbon monoxide. That caused all sorts of weird stuff. Maybe that's what happened to me. And just me. And no, that doesn't hold water. You're all going to have to tell me this story, and I'm going to have to memorize it. I don't remember a goddamn thing.
Get back to the hotel.
Okay, well, can I take Bennett's handcuffs off now that we're stopped?
Fuck, yeah, take his handcuffs off. God damn it. Bennett, are you going to be fucking cool?
O'Neill, I tell you what, I don't know. I don't know what happened back there, and I can't tell you. I mean, I got to be honest. I can't tell you yes or no. I don't know. I hope so.
Okay, but we're not going to walk into a hotel with handcuffs on your hands. So take the fucking handcuffs off him and just be chill. We're going to come up with a plan. All right? One thing's for sure. That building is coming down.
We got to talk about that too. We got to air some things about that idea, but let's get inside.
So you four slowly, carefully get back to the hotel rooms. These are adjoining, right? Which is what was selected before. The hotel rooms seem unused, although the bed you stayed in, O'Neill, hasn't been made. The little sign that says "Do Not Disturb" is still on the outside of the door. Takes you a couple of times with the card reader to get the door to finally open, but it does. Ward, when that door opens to the hotel, you feel a cold chill run down your spine. Because when it opens, you have a flash of that tiny baby with your sister's voice inside of it, waiting for you. And the heavy weight of your time at the MacAllistar drops on you like a ton of bricks. And so you are going to suffer 4 points of sanity loss. I'll just ask, how would you like to cope with that loss?
So none of my support system is here. What little of it I have.
It's true.
So chances are very good that I'm going to have to do something more physical in order to cope. I might want to have a stiff drink. Or two. Or half a bottle of whiskey.
Okay. The stiff drink sounds like a fantastic idea. The one thing, though, that you know in your heart is true is that your mother could never stand a drunkard. And so you're going to be able to use the alcohol as a liniment for certain. But it's going to deteriorate your connection with your mother because you won't be able to face the fact that you'd have to tell her that you went to the bottle for safety and for security.
Just like my daddy.
It does run in the family. That's what they say. So what I'll have you do is roll a d4 to see how much willpower you'll be able to spend to reduce the sanity loss.
1.
Ooh, okay. So you can spend, drop your willpower down by 1, drop that bond score with your mother down by 1, and then as soon as you're settled, you are likely calling room service for a nice big bottle of something brown and alcoholic.
Yep. Bourbon, whiskey, whatever's cheaper.
Oh, it'll be whiskey. There's no way this place has got something fancy like bourbon. Let's be honest.
That's probably true.
Okay. So the four of you get into a hotel room to talk this out. We'll just say as a reasonable formality that room service or some type of takeout or something will be called for, because you're all going to begin to understand that you haven't eaten in way too long. Along with that, room service brings up drinks. And this isn't just a couple of beers and whatnot, Agent Bennett. Ward must have ordered something stiff.
Is this for all of us here, Ward, or is this just a special order just for you?
Well, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to drink all of that by my lonesome now, am I?
I'm glad to hear that.
And with that, I'm going to pour a drink and I'm going to go over to my briefcase. I'm going to root around until I find Marcus's number.
Yeah, so just for FYI, not that Ward will notice at all, but Bennett, when she pours a glass, she pours about 4 fingers of whiskey. There's no ice in that glass either.
I think I'll probably take that bottle. If anyone else wants a drink, I'll pour him a drink, but then I might set that bottle somewhere out of sight, behind a chair, behind a couch. Standard alcoholic procedure.
Seems about fair.
So after I find that number, I'm going to call it. I'll dial the phone and I'll just hold it out for somebody else to talk, because I need to cope with this shit that happened.
If it's not Ward, it's going to have to be me.
It rings for a little while, Agent O'Neill. And then after probably a good 6 or 7 rings, just about the time you're getting fed up with having this receiver next to your ear, you hear a click, and then there is a hiss on the other end of the line, just for a second. A voice enters your ear canal. Who is this?
Hey, this is O'Neill. Emergency report in.
Okay, keep it to less than 30 seconds. Status update.
There are more floors than there should be in the building. Residents probably compromised. At least one person loose in the city. Multiple injuries in the party. Please advise.
Loose is unacceptable.
Understood.
The building is compromised. It needs to be removed.
Understood.
By any means necessary.
Understood.
The receiver clicks.
We have to hunt down David. And we need to take out that building. And this is where O'Neill is kind of breaking down a little bit emotionally. I don't know what to do with the people inside. And when it comes to David, what do we do? We grab him? Do we check him in what do we do with him?
I say we drop him off at a hospital and let somebody else deal with him. The way that we all sound, he's worse than we are, right? Just put him away somewhere. They'll figure it out.
It doesn't work that way.
I don't think they want him out in the public. Also, the building's probably has a fire alarm, right? Like, we could just evacuate everyone and then destroy it.
Okay, that's going to look really weird, though.
What, a fire alarm and then a building burning down?
Hold on just a second. First things first. We find David. If we find him alive and well, you can't just drop a person off at a hospital. It's like, what, a 48-hour, 72-hour hold maximum?
Well, a lot of that also depends. If they're posing dangerous, they can be held for a lot longer than that.
Okay. And then what do they say?
He can say all kinds of shit.
O'Neill, what did the contact say? What were the words that the contact said?
Somebody on the loose is unacceptable. And he said if the building is compromised, the building needs to be removed.
I guess it depends on your interpretation of on the loose, but even if we drop him off at a hospital somewhere, I mean, they might still consider that on the loose. I mean, he's still out in the general population. I mean, the less general population.
Darford has the right of it. I think we all know what they are expecting us to do with David.
I don't know what they're expecting us to do. What are you saying, Bennett?
O'Neill, they're expecting us to capture David and eliminate him. That is the expectation.
Whoa, have you killed a person before?
That is not really yes, but not in this way. This is pretty straightforward in terms of what we're being told. You've never terminated a suspect?
No. Where do you work?
I work for the U.S. federal government, son.
Yes, so do I. I don't just shoot people.
I work for a different department of the U.S. federal government, son. But I do not like it, and I do not like burning this building down. But I think Darford has the right of it there.
Darford goes to the bathroom and throws up. That's about where she's at.
Sorry, Darford. All right, we need to set some of this aside and do some work here. Here's what I suggest. Maybe Darford and when I start thinking through this, burn this place down. How do we get people out? I'm going to get on the horn. I'm going to start calling hospitals and such, because if this boy had the skull fracture, he's not wandering about happy. Sounds like he's covered in blood and such. So hopefully he's been picked up, maybe police department, maybe hospital stuff. So I'm going to start calling around and see if we can track him that way. That we might get lucky.
Deal. And I've got a plan for the residents.
All right. So maybe we can split up some work and cover some ground.
Here's what we're gonna do with the residents. We have petty cash. We are going to get them hotel rooms. We are going to tell them that there is an emergency with a gas leak in the building. They can't take their stuff out. They've got to grab enough things to last them 48 hours. We get them out of the building. We escort them out of the building, and then we have the gas leak go wrong.
That works.
That's how we handle the building. David, I have no idea. Maybe that's not the team I'm on.
I'm starting to work some phones. I mean, if this is a adjoining room, I might be in the adjoining room, door open, just calling police and hospital.
Starting to work your angles. O'Neill, you're starting to sort of draw out mentally, at least, okay, well, this is the cost of a hotel room here. There's only this X number of people in the building. This is how much it'll cost us. Ward, you are downing more whiskey. Dartford, you are praying to the porcelain god, which is an amazing backdrop for Bennett's phone calls. It's fantastic. You all spend the next couple of hours trying to get things lined up. And so, Bennett, what is your bureaucracy skill?
My bureaucracy is 60.
Okay, so I won't make you roll. You have a fantastic inner knowledge of the way the government works, even at this hour. So you are able to begin putting tips in hospitals in the area, clinics, call the local station and let them know, just some very cursory information. Hey, I saw a guy walking down X Street about this time. He looked like he was, wounded, maybe fucked up. We just don't have anything bad happening. Stuff like that. Unless you want to make it more official. I imagine you're probably going to stay under cover as long as you can.
I'm not going to make it official, because official means they'd probably want my name and agency and all that stuff, and something bad's going to happen to David. I don't want that so easily traced back.
After a while, Dartford, you come to grips with the idea that Agent Bennett has killed people, likely not just one, because he seemed to be fairly straightforward with his way that he deals with things. And then sitting in the bathroom on the tile of this hotel room, you're a little empty inside now. There's that sort of burned, brackish feeling in your throat from having the acid come back up your esophagus. And all you can smell in this room is cigar smoke. Thick, heavy cigar smoke. It reminds you of Rourke and the way he talked about your ex-husband, and that strange book that you read, seemingly which had your ex-husband in it. And it all seems really, really difficult to cope with just a moment, because the lines in your mind just start trying to match up and none of it makes sense. And you get that immediate hammer of anxiety on your chest, like a blacksmith's going to work on a pair of horseshoes. And so what I want to know is, how are you planning on dealing with your 4 points of sanity loss from the MacAllistar?
I feel like something that is amiss in Dartford's life and that needs to ground her back into reality is the fact that I lost today and didn't talk to my fucking kid who's with my shitty ex-husband who was maybe in weird porn on the night floors, if that was real, but I don't think it was. Now, Bennett's on one phone. Is there another phone? Because we have 2 rooms and he went to the adjoining room.
Yes, there absolutely is.
I mean, I'd like to try to reground myself in reality by calling Adam and then trying to talk to Holly.
Okay. You call. It's probably 10:30 at night by the time you call. There's a pickup on the line and you hear Adam's voice. Hello?
Hey, Adam, it's Aaron. Is Holly awake?
No. She's with my mom.
Oh, well, I was hoping I could call her. Can you just give me their number real quick?
Sure. Hang on. You hear a couple of voices in the background.
What kind of voices?
It's hard to make out. There's definitely 2 voices.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay.
He comes back a little bit more phone center. You can tell it sounded like the receiver got muffled.
Mm-hmm.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I grab whatever writing utensils nearby the phone.
A hotel pen, of course.
Yeah. I scribble with it to make sure it writes, and it doesn't initially, and then I keep scribbling till it does. And I lick it, and then I keep scribbling until it does.
You have to go back and forth at the top of this post-it note here 4, 5, 6, 10, 15, 20 times. You get this burst of blue ink for probably a good 2 seconds, and it goes away and then eventually comes back.
Yep.
Okay. So it's 203
Mm-hmm.
211 1599.
Okay. Thanks, Adam.
Yeah, no problem.
I hang up, and I'll dial up Adam's parents.
It rings for a while. You eventually get an answering machine picks up. You sort of hear his mother's voice come on to the answering machine. And then you hear a couple of clicks, like someone trying to answer the phone, or maybe someone trying to disable the answering machine. And then you hear Holly's voice in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Grandma, the phone's ringing. The phone is ringing. I know, honey. I know. Oh, I don't think I can shut this off. I don't think. And then you hear the gripping, heart-wrenching part of this is you hear your daughter say, "What if it's Mom?" And then Adam's mother says, "Oh, your mother wouldn't call here. She doesn't even have this number. Come back to bed." And the phone clicks and you get the dial tone.
Dartford throws up again. Not even in the bathroom, just there's probably a small trash can there. But it's like dry heaving now because she feels so horrible. Ugh.
It's not just the dry heaving that Agent Dartford goes through. Unfortunately, it's all of the crying as you try to come to grips with the fact that you were just seconds away from being able to talk to your daughter after an amazingly traumatic event. She seemingly is okay, but there's a barrier and you just can't reach her. So speaking of that, let's just make sure we wrap this up then. How much willpower are you spending? So you can spend up to 2 points of willpower to reduce the sanity loss.
I'll spend them.
Okay. So what I want to know is, interestingly enough, which bond are you going to land this on?
Oh, I mean, I probably Holly, because I just bailed for I've been bailed for 2 days, at least 3 days. I just haven't been around. I haven't talked to her.
I agree. Why don't we drop that score of your daughter, age 11, Holly Weber, by 2 points.
Okay.
When a bond reaches 0, bad things happen, Agent.
Oh, I'm aware. So then how many total sand am I losing?
You're going to lose 2 points of sanity, and your temporary willpower will go down by 2.
I imagine that's why she's at her grandparents, because Adam obviously has bullshit going on. And I was probably supposed to take Holly. It's probably supposed to be my night, day, or whatever, my weekend. And so he had to pawn him off on grandparents.
Okay, so I want to know a couple of things as we sort of cycle around a little bit of this session. I believe that in an hour or two, Agent O'Neill will have a plan in place about where people are going to go. He'll have rooms booked. You'll likely have, local cab, at least cabbies aware, maybe not set up completely yet because you don't know when you're going to move people out, but you'll have your sort of collection of notes. You're very good at that sort of thing, compartmentalizing and moving to act on a specific plan. So give us, just the audience, if you would, give us a run through of what your plan might look like if it, say, is initiated in the next 24 hours.
Okay, so we have the hotel rooms booked, and we already have the key cards in hand. They are each placed in individual envelopes marked with the room numbers on them and the address for the hotel. I'm also going to provide them with I'll throw $20 in each of them as a food credit or some shit. Okay, then we're going to roll up to the place. Me and at least one other person is going to talk to each of the resident, hand them the envelope, explain the situation, be very official about it. We're just going to maximize officiality in that situation with each of those residents, and then direct them that they have approximately, an hour to get out, because it's dangerous. It's dangerous. If not, then the fire department's going to show up and escort them physically from the place. So we're trying to help them out. Grab their shit, grab 48 hours worth of shit. When the place is clear of people, wasn't there flammable shit in the basement?
You would know that there is at least paint. And if memory serves correctly, I believe Agent Bennett recognized that some of that might be paint thinner. So there is certainly flammable stuff in the basement.
Cool, because we're going to blame this on, an unexpected gas leak, and then we're going to blame it on the fucking artists. So we're going to take all of the flammable chemicals, and we're going to paint we're just going to pour that shit down the hallways. I'm going to go downstairs. I'm going to break open a gas line. And when I feel like it's full of enough gas, I'm going to put something that I can remotely create a spark. And then we're going to get out of the area, and then we're going to remotely trigger that spark. And I'm hoping that by the time the NYFD gets on scene, they're not going to be able to do enough about it. That's my plan.
That's a good plan. The question is given your level of demolitions, which is what that is, I'm slightly concerned about the feasibility that we may be encountering a situation where the player is far smarter than the character in that regard.
Yeah, I'm going to need help with the electrical thing. I don't know how to trigger this remotely. I'm going to need somebody's help. I really am, because I don't know how to do it.
I'm a chemist, not a demolitions expert. I can do a timed reaction, something that starts reacting slowly. Then, we just do it with some fancy chemicals that are not going to get hot enough to ignite the gas until we are out.
Okay, so the two of you are going to work on the plan. Agent Ward, by your third glass or so, you're getting pretty drunk, but it's not a happy, exuberant drunk. It is sit here in this terribly uncomfortable hotel chair and sit in my feelings about life and about how things have become cyclical.
It's a brood moment.
Oh yeah, for certain. After some phone calls get placed, Bennett, you have a totally different mission. How would you like to go about executing that?
Have I located David?
You've gotten a couple of tips. They come in to the room here. He was spotted about probably an hour ago, 4 blocks from the MacAllistar in Gramercy Park. And he was hiding out. Cops said somebody saw him walking by Gramercy Park and they noticed he had a head wound, and he stopped into a local bodega and tried to grab something or talk to people. But he's definitely on the loose.
I'm going to see if Ward will give me my service weapon.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Thanks.
I've seen enough of you at this point in the night now to know that I'm pretty sure you're not going to go all murdery again for no apparent reason.
Yeah, I don't have any plans on going all murdery again. I'm sorry about that, Ward. And thank you for understanding. I think I know where David is. Maybe hiding, and I'm going to go take a look.
All right, let's get going. I'm going to try to stand up out of my chair.
No, you fall right the fuck over.
I think maybe this is just a little solo recon, not something for a group. Anyway, there's the bigger plan here that I think y'all need to focus up on. But I'm just gonna go take a look and see if I can locate the kid and maybe bring him home here.
Yeah, bring him home. We have stuff to ask him.
Mm-hmm.
I need answers.
Mm-hmm. We all need some answers for sure.
Oh, you have no idea how much I need answers right now.
And I will sort of check in with the other two, with Dartford, O'Neill.
They seem pretty deeply in thought in the plan of extricating the people from the MacAllistar and then also finding a way to blow up the building.
And I'm going to exit, take my gear, and I'm going to go head down to that beautiful private little park in New York City, Gramercy Park. And I'm going to try and track this boy down.
Well, there is one thing that you are really, really good at, Agent Bennett, and that is tracking people down. You are heavily invested in searching and tracking, and it does not take you probably more than 30 minutes to find a couple of dead enders who probably trying to smoke through the last of the stub cigarettes that they have. They're near Gramercy Park. They've found a spot down here to huddle up in, and they're both dressed fairly shabby, old Adidas jackets, sneakers probably from the 80s, probably anywhere between 10 to maybe 15 teeth amongst the two of them. But they are living the best life that they have provided for themselves in this regard. They seem to be talking about the New York Yankees when you walk up.
So as part of my experience in this kind of effort, I probably would have snuck into a bodega and grabbed a few bottles. I got a few bottles of Everclear, 2 or 3. That's quickest way to these folks' hearts. Saddle up, and I got a persuade of 70 and a search of 70. This is my world, and I will try to get a bead on young David wherever he and his giant head wound might be. Oh, y'all fellas, I'm real worried about a friend of mine. He came through here, I think. He fell out the second story of our apartment, and he wandered off. I think he might have already been drunk. He had a big old wound, big old bloody head wound. You see him? I'm really worried about him.
Oh, man. That sounds terrible. One of them looks at the other one. Fred, didn't you see that? Didn't we see a guy just over there? Across the way there, he points across the street.
A skinny white guy? Did you see him?
He had a limp. He was struggling real bad.
I don't know what gets into someone who has a spill like that and then just wanders off, but I've seen it before. I've seen it. Hey, I really appreciate it. I'm going to hand one of the bottles. I really appreciate it, fellas.
Oh, hey. Thanks. He sort of, almost like a magnet, 2 fireflies of the New York street nights come alive, and they each grab for the bottle, and they don't seem to fight between the. They pass it back and forth, each one willingly accepting the lot in life that they've that they've dealt themselves or society has dealt them. And within a couple of moments, that the balm that you've given them seems to immediately help. One of the guys, Fred, this fella on the right, says, that boy was bleeding from the head. I saw it. And he walked down that street and he took a left down there. I remember hearing him tap on the bars of the park.
You done saved that boy's life. Thank you so much. And not too fast on that stuff. That's some strong stuff.
You're right.
Enjoy your night, and I'm going to hurry off after the direction they pointed.
You hustle. Probably a good 5 minutes later, you come upon David leaned up against a building, sitting down, almost in a fetal position, leaned against the building. Blood covering his once clean polo from King Cable. His scraggly beard coated with blood from his face. He's ashen, and he seems to be unconscious.
I'm going to move up on him and take a seat next to him, sort of snuggle in real close and get the other bottle. I'm opening up the other bottle of Everclear and just checking to see, is he unconscious? Is he just bleary?
He does appear unconscious. Or maybe out of it. You take the bottle out and he stirs a little bit from the noise. He covers his head.
No. Calm down. No. This, here. Take a sip. You've had a terrible fall. This'll help. This'll help numb that pain that you're feeling. Here, take a sip.
He takes a sip. Cough. Real hard. And then a deep wheeze sort of comes out of his chest. Oh. You see his eyes open wide. They are riddled with red veins back and forth.
You had a terrible situation, David. Let's just take a little rest and then we'll get you some help. It's not good for you to be moving right now. Just settle and have another. And I'll take a tiny little sip, but I'll make sure that he is taking his share.
Yeah, as you well know, this is some potent shit. Really potent. And after a couple of gulps, he's starting to sort of tremble a little bit. You can see the wound on the side of his face is now bleeding a little bit more again. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. I got hit. Oh.
I can see that, son. Looks bad. Looks real bad, but you just calm yourself down. You just keep calm. And
he seems calm. He doesn't seem agitated. He seems out of it. Totally and completely out of it. He takes another sip from the bottle. I gotta get home.
You got family at home, son?
Oh, I live by myself in New Jersey. Where's my trunk?
Can you remember your address for me, son? Maybe I can get you home.
He looks up at you. You hit me.
No, we got you out of that place. Son.
He points a bloodied hand at you. You hit me with your gun. Why?
No, I don't remember that. I don't remember that at all. I'm here to give you some help.
He stands up.
I don't let him.
Okay.
If I can stop him.
You can stop him. There's no roll required. He doesn't really have enough sense to be able to make we'll just say skillful attempt. He accepts you pushing him back down and relents eventually. That building is fucked up. There's something wrong with that building.
You're 100% correct, son. 100% correct. Just stay calm and here to have another drink. This will help everything.
He takes another drink. He's had a significant amount of alcohol at this point. especially given the purity therein.
In a giant head wound, I will continue to soothingly and calmly speak to David and ply him with Everclear until he falls unconscious. And then at some point when that happens, my arm's still around him, my hand reaches up and pinches his nose closed, covers his mouth, and I hold him very tight until he is done.
Before he passes out, before he goes into that sort of long forever, you learn a couple of things you don't really want to know, but are forced to as the last person who will see with him. They're the things that you are forced to carry. Earl and Mary are his parents' names. He hasn't spoke to them in many, many years. They live in Maine. He came down towards the city to try to make a better life for himself. He always fashioned himself as a man who would be able to get a good job and then hopefully be able to settle down with a nice girl. This, of course, never happens for David, as he passes from the mortal coil this evening with your assistance. That is an act, however important to the overall mission, is something that will stain you inexorably as you inflict violence on him in that sort of tiered system that Delta Green looks at it as. So because you are inflicting violence, I will say that I'm going to keep this to a D4 sanity loss, because I feel like you're acting in defense of yourself and the team in some regard. But it is a very slippery slope, Agent Bennett, the one you are walking. So go ahead and roll sand for me.
Well, I've rolled a 3 under 56.
So here's the worst part. Are you ready?
I am.
You don't take any sanity loss for doing that. You're able to muscle through and make the team's goal more important than David's life. Congratulations, Agent. I think that's where we'll call the episode to a close tonight. So, as our cast have worked their way out of the MacAllistar, they've come to the stunning realization about themselves. One, they left something of themselves in that building, something that they will never get back. And as Agent Dartford and Agent O'Neill have come to the realization as well, that they will have to go back to the MacAllistar to deal with what lies there once and for all. So thank you for joining us on this episode of the Old Ways Podcast as we play through Delta Green's Impossible Landscapes. We hope you've enjoyed the show. Thank you and good night.